before I get up here, and it doesn't get easier. I wish it did. But there was one message that I don't know if it's one of you or all of you that you need to know, that you all are already famous. And he knows your name. Okay? There's two things I have to get out of my head real quick or I'll think about it forever. So apparently I got a different memo because this is what I call business casual. And in my house, when you come home from being out, you like get into your comfy clothes, right? And we're family, so this is my business attire. And the second thing is after 4 days, my flush officially wants to work now. So, 4 years ago, as Mark said, Karen, all right, get it? Got it? I was going to say number 1 is and number 2, and I thought, don't do that. So as Mark said, 4 years ago, Kara and I walked in here having no idea what on earth we were doing. But Brandy and Calla said we should go. And when she said, why are we going? I said, I have no idea. They said we should go. So there we were. So if you are here for the very first time at an event, I would love to honor you. Could you stand up so we can all give you a round of applause? Getting a little teary-eyed, and we were talking about if we knew every single thing that would happen to us in the last 4 years, would we have done it again? And of course you would say yes, right? But there are certain things we wish we, would have never wished to walk through. But every one of them has made us who we are and brought us all here for a purpose. So I would say we're blessed. Are we blessed? So my notes start out looking really good, and then during like the 24-hour period before we get here, God changes it all. So if you don't mind, we're going to read what he wants rather than what I had written. So I might stick to the podium a little more than normal. But my topic was the blessings of Xyngfling, and boy, isn't that a wide topic. It's because they know I'll just do whatever I want anyway. And so they just, here's a broad general idea of what you could talk about. But I just think one of the most important things that I could ever say to you is that you have a purpose. And your purpose is well beyond what Xyngfling is, right? Xyngfling is just a vehicle. And are we having the time of our life, right? On the road. But the destination is a little bit different. And I believe that for you. And I think that's my very favorite thing about Xyngfling, is God dreams. And I am the girl who talks a lot about God dreams. But it's because I know that you have one. I know every one of you have one, and not one of us is going to have the same one. But one of the coolest things is that's what our job is. Our job is to hand people an opportunity that gets them to their God dream. And so we're going to have a great time on the ride, and there are going to be some fun things and some not so fun things, but you're going to walk through those things to get to the destination. So we will empower people to believe in themselves. It's the greatest job on earth. For those of you who were in Dallas, actually one of the things Mark put in my email was, if you just want to do that blue box of hope thing again, that was pretty cool. And I was ready to pull those notes out and go, whoo, I'm done. We just repeat. But I don't always, make it that easy. But we are going to talk a little bit about that. If you didn't happen to be there, because I know earlier they said, stand up if this is your, I said that a second ago, and look at all the people. That was me. Whoops. Just kidding. Okay. But the blue box of hope is truly a gift, right? And there is so much in there. And it is going to come with tissue paper. It's a gift. It's not just a box. Has anyone in this room blessed anyone's life with this blue box? Mm-hmm. Really? Everyone should be raising their hand. I think everyone is born wanting to change the world. I truly believe that. I just think we all get scared. We don't know how. And we think, this one little person, how am I going to do that? And Calla mentioned this the other day, but one of my favorite things is to tell people, if you have changed one person's life, you change the world to them. And that's all that matters. One person at a time. I think I actually have slides. Let's see. Blessings. God dreams, yes, keep going. I have no idea what that one is yet. Is that to change the world? Oh yeah, okay, we're right on track. Whoops, did I go backwards? Okay, let's stay there. Okay, so let's talk about what has come out of the box, just as a little recap from Dallas. We all know that the best products anywhere in the world come out of that box, right? Right. But there's a lot more. Did anyone else get anything else out of that box besides just products other than me? Did anyone get anything else out of the box? There are so many things that are in that box. Your life changes when you open that box. There's glitter, not just tissue paper. Actually, that would be a good little glitter X's. Is Mimi in charge of that? Being part of something so much bigger than yourself is in that box. Changing lives is in that box. The most amazing people are all of you now sitting next to your best friends and you think, I would have never known them. Right? I mean, that's one of the greatest blessings in my life is that my very best friends are in this room, and many of you I would have never even known, and I can't even imagine my life without you. So that comes out of that box as well. Serving other people. You know, financially, does money come out of the box? It does. I mean, that's pretty cool. I thought it was just putting it in, but it all just came out and kept pouring out, pouring out, pouring out. Next thing you know, but what does money really do? It just gives you the opportunity to serve more and to give more and all those little things I always wanted to do. And I'd sit there and think, I wish I could do that. I wish I could help those people. I wish that I could do this, and now I can. And now you're able to be a part of that. And I think that's the coolest part about the money. Traveling the world is absolutely crazy. No kidding, I didn't even know Bora Bora and those grass huts were real. I thought it was just a screensaver. I didn't know that was real stuff. And you know what? One of my other I felt honored that God would choose me to be able to believe in my kids. And that came out of that box for me. Because before I would have told them, go to college. I mean, I'll still probably tell them, whatever. My husband sometimes like, you're getting a little out of hand with these dreams of yours, you know, but to believe in them. If my son wants to play in the NFL, I'm like, get outside and throw the ball then, right? I don't tell him any longer that, oh, that's a cute dream. I believe in them. And when my kids and your kids see you doing things that we once thought was impossible, it brings them incredible hope and excitement. And then those big, giant God dreams. I literally leave in 4 days for Africa. And I've already been there once. And I have a non-for-profit there called Our Hope. And, you know, I am not even the person I was 4 years ago. God has grown and changed me here. And now I get to go do that. And I'll be gone for 14 days. So here we're in this lavish Gaylord hotel. And my other suitcase has baby wipes. And that's also known as a shower. So, you know, it'll be a good time. Anyway, today is not about me at all, and one of the things they wanted me to do is tell my story, but I really think it's impossible to tell my story without telling other people's stories. Do you feel that way? Like your story is really everybody else's story. But I do want you to know that what really truly matters is what you believe is inside that box, because it was probably physical, emotional, spiritual, financial for you, but to believe in other people, to share with them, that's truly what we're doing, is sharing all the things. What if Calla and Brandy wouldn't have driven in the snowstorm to get to me? What if people would have given up right before they told you about it? I mean, I've had people I've told about it for years. And I'm not going to give up on them because I love them, right? They just don't know what you have. You literally have the power to impact people and empower them to believe in their dreams, which is going to affect generations, not just their single life. And so you have to know. But I believe truly that we are so interconnected here and that we don't look like the world. Our stories are so intertwined, and your story is my story. And this one team, one dream thing that people wear on their shirts is not just a slogan. It's the only way that we could operate. Sometimes we do things that we don't immediately benefit from, or maybe ever, but we do it anyway, because we're dealing with lives. I love makeup and I love jewelry, but it's not changing my life. You know, this is very different. Sometimes it's contrary to what your first instinct would be, but we do it anyway. And so your story totally inspires me. My team inspires me, and I'm going to share something that one day. The one team, one dream is literally the core of our culture, and we can't let that go. But one day, Angie Delamore, who I love and is an inspiration in my life, y'all know I cry a lot, right? I do enough for Robin and I both. So. Angie posted, and I'm going to read it. I've never heard of giant redwood trees in my life, but I believe that Xyngfling is just like this. And she was posting this in her team page, and she now calls her team like Team Redwood or something like that. But the giant redwood trees grow in Northern California, and they have a very, very shallow root system. And when surrounded by other redwood trees, these are even the strongest, most fierce wind cannot blow them over. But they have very shallow roots, and it's a giant tree. So why is that? It's because the roots actually intertwine, and they strengthen each other. And so when the strongest storm comes, they literally hold each other up. So, you guys have definitely done that. Now, I could have, give it up for the redwood trees. I literally, when I was trying to put a few slides on here rather than make them microscopic, I wanted to put all 600 of you on there because every single one of you inspire me. But this is just so much more, and you are my story, and we are each other's stories. And I cannot thank you enough for what you guys have done in my life. But I do want to highlight a couple stories rather than tell my own. Because truly it is. It's telling my story by telling your story. So clearly, I would not be here today without these two women. Give it up for Cal Stadell and Randy Garrett. Honestly, without their love and their service and their sacrifice, I would not be here. I would literally still be making fun of Xyngfling. I would be miserable. I would be sitting on my couch eating brownies left over from my baking business and getting fatter and wondering what was wrong. I would be miserable. I would not be playing with my children. I wouldn't be living a life of joy and abundance like I get to live today. And I wouldn't be going to Africa. Without them, my God dream wouldn't even be a reality. What if you didn't drive it? Where is Cal at too? I see Brandy about here. Okay. What if you wouldn't have driven in that snowstorm? I say to myself many times. On New Year's Eve, y'all, I go to a party. These chicks were in a car in a snowstorm. They shouldn't have done it, actually. It was very unsafe. They put this guy on the phone, and I got freaked out. We're sitting in the chair. I'm like, do not call anyone. I don't know these people. I don't know who Freddie Elias is. And Callie is like dialing while I'm asking her not to do it. Do you know that he did not benefit, at all? Right, money-wise, in the whole paycheck area? But he changed my life that day. They changed my life that day. And that's what we do. What if every month, what if every single month when Callie would call me and she would ask me, what are you going to do next? And I was like, oh gosh, did you know my points went away? What happened? I woke up and they're back at 0. I just want to get back there. Oh my gosh, what happened to them? It was like a nightmare. I want to go back to bed and wake up on the 2nd and all those planes get back up there. And she's like, oh, whatever. But she would inspire me and build my belief and hold me up when any storm would come and believe in me. And there were some definite storms throughout this last 4 years. But together, we can weather anything. Okay. So then, as you already know, we went to Nashville, Kara and I, and one of the first people we ran into there was this really nice guy. He's got a really great booty shake if you haven't seen it. It's a dance. I'm not talking about it. One thing I'll remember about that trip is you get to know people, and I'm wondering why are people, here? What do they want out of this? I thought it was going to be this rah-rah schmoozy thing. I was not really all that excited about being here. And he said to me, the greatest blessing would be is staying home with my kids. And that'll melt your heart right now, won't it? He told us, and I kind of called him and we talked about it a little bit, so I'm going to kind of read this, but he is such a great friend of mine now and is always there to help. And we have so many women, and a lot of times I will call Dusty to talk to other guys, so that I can talk to a guy. But he was telling me that he has been through a lot of struggles too. And that's inspiring to hear, not just the exciting things that happen, but some of the other things. And he's no different than you and I, because he has grown and fallen back. So have I. He's lost team members that he believed in, and so have I. He told me that he did a company before and the only free trip he got was to the spare bedroom. And I thought, oh dear, I might have that same trip, I don't know. He kept sharing and plugging in and believing and smiling, and he was here for the journey, and that literally has inspired me. The other day I said, what is your God dream? And this guy, I've watched him grow and change even spiritually over the last year in a place that if that's the only thing I ever got from this, it would have been worth it. And he said, I'm still circling that. And for those of you who know, immediately I knew the reference to the book. And I was like, all right, well, your purpose is there, and that totally inspired me. And his story is actually your story too. It's your story and it's my story. Look at those cute kids. Really, it should be illegal. Okay, so this is one of my girls. Her name's Candy, and she would have been here, but Jesus trumps singular every day of the week, and her sweet baby boy was baptized last night. So she had bought her ticket and everything, yes. And then they found out that was the only day that they could do it, and so she's not here. Sometimes things come along in your business that you would never choose or wish in your life, and those struggles are sometimes the most difficult storms in your life. But they allow you to grow and they give you strength. And you don't look back. When you do, you're actually thankful for them, Candy Sandoval came into my life actually in my living room at my little kitchen, or in my kitchen, at my kitchen table. And I literally just had surgery. And one of my neighbors called and she said, I've got these 3 girls and can we come over to your house? And I was like, sure. So I literally wheel myself to the front door in my office chair because I cannot get up. And these 3 girls come over to my house and they sit in my kitchen. When you pray and you ask God for opportunity, He brings it. You just have to be watching. So that day I could have said no, but I said yes. And so she sat down and she said, I literally just found out I had one of the rarest forms of cancer, and I just had to have a radical hysterectomy. I'm getting ready to start treatment, but I need to take care of my body. I'm a single mom. And so we sat there and we talked. And that afternoon, all of those girls got started. And Candy even said, my gosh, I didn't know that maybe I could provide for my son. And after that, she started her treatment, and it was one of the most grueling things, and the only thing she held on to was the bathroom floor. And I'm not kidding. So she hit manager in a few days, started her treatments, and just kind of stayed there. When her treatments were over, she ended up almost like within 50 points or something of director. And I don't know if you see that, the race picture up there, and then the Janae Burkhart message. Janae was my neighbor, and suddenly, after a surgery that she had, she passed away. And that was enough for Candy to lose her dream for a while and to lose her focus. And so she was a director and she fell all the way back. And so when I called her to tell her I'm gonna, talk today and it's all about everybody else's story and not about mine, she said, well, then I want you to deliver a message for me. And this is really hard for me because I don't want to sound prideful, but she said, the only reason I'm here is because you never gave up on me. She's like, Laci, when I had my cancer, you would call me. Whether I was doing Xyngfling or not, you have been somebody in my life every single step of the way. Whether I had points or I didn't have points, you never cared. And she said, you know what I've realized? I'll tell you the rest of her story here in a minute, but she said, Janae was a mentor to me and somebody that I looked up to. And I know God took my hand and Janae's hand and she walked me to my new mentor. I didn't know she was going to leave me, but before she left, she delivered me to you. And she said, I literally am here today, still in Xyngfling, because you loved me unconditionally. Well, Candy in January had about 470 points, and at the end of last month, she was at 13,000 in just 6 days with a whole new team. Not the people that were there before. And you know how hard that is? We all know what it feels like to get discouraged, and you feel like, well, great, I don't have anyone else that went through those people, and they're not here anymore. This girl has a brand new team, and a brand new focus, and a brand new excitement. And oh my gosh, I told her, no, the real greatest joy is that you were in my life, because she is full of life and joy and so much fun to be around. you know what? Her story is your story because there's somebody out there right now just like her. And you're the only person that's going to reach them. So if you get discouraged and you stop sharing because people said no or things fell away, you are going to actually take a blessing from somebody else. So I have one more. This is my precious friends, Ben and Stephanie. Do you know how nice it is when you have somebody new? It's new life, isn't it? I mean, it is like a breath of fresh air when someone brand new comes in. They are so excited. They don't have any of those same fears that we get in our head because they don't know better, right? Too dumb to doubt. That's what Cal always tells me. They're not nervous. They have these big dreams, but they need you. They truly need you to walk them hand in hand every single day. And you have that vision. So many people have talked about that. You have to have that focus for people. You have to have that belief in people. You have to lock arms and walk it out with them every single day because they don't know yet. They don't have any idea. This gal here, her and her husband, that's their 3 precious, precious kids. She just started in February. We actually met at cancer camp because my sister had cancer. And so I was a worker there, and they both worked at a camp too. She actually started Xyngfling when she moved to Philadelphia, and it wasn't the right time. You have people that came in and you saw this potential in them, and then they just kind of faded away, and it wasn't her time. But she has these 3 babies, Natalie and Landon, and then their little guy, Owen. Owen is terminally ill. That's their baby right there. He's 5 months old. And Owen is already literally